It's 2018, and we haven't actually had a meaningful conversation about websites since 1995. Most websites are still digital brochures. Think about this, when you've had to have something changed on your corporate site, how crazy that is. I remember talking to one company, well, we have an 18-month waiting list to get changes approved. It's 18 months? Who has 18 months for that? And when mobile devices became a thing, the conversation simply was, well, let's make them mobile. Let's make it work on a small screen. That's a great idea. We never looked at, well, how does shorter attention bursts work? What does a website need to become on a mobile device? Instead of just porting the desktop experience to a mobile screen, how do you engage people in 3, 5-second bursts? Every single year this question is asked, customers are saying they want to be able to go through the journey, not just mobile first, but mobile only. They want to go start to finish on the mobile device. And every time I share this stat with executives, they say, well, that number is too low to really think about making that kind of investment for the future. We still have 60% who prefer the desktop web. And I have to sit them down and say, it's not that they love your web. It's not that they love your web experience. They don't love your website. It's just that you haven't given them a choice. So they're forced to go through this clunky journey or this cluster funnel. What if you made the investment to be innovative like all of these other startups that are mobile only? There's a friend of mine who had this cartoon drawn after I wrote a report about mobile first and mobile only design, and this is what he walked away with, and so I wanted to share it with you. I'm just stalling until you figure it out. Because we looked at it as a UX or a design perspective, not necessarily from an experiential perspective. But the more we spend online, the more we start to learn that our impatience just isn't on that screen. It actually starts to spill over in the real world. For some reason, we were okay with standing in line at the Department of Motor Vehicles until we got Instagram. And suddenly, oh, that's ridiculous. Why would I wait in line? This is a really interesting stat from some of my research that I was doing with Google recently, that consumers will bail on most mobile experiences if something takes longer than 5 seconds to load. The average page loads in 15.3 seconds. And this is just a moment I needed to share with you. This is a real dude having lunch in another world. And I had to take a picture of the person behind him looking at me, taking a picture of this guy in a different world. And that moment represented just the quandary of opportunities and complexities that we have in imagining customer experiences when we finally realize we are not the person we're designing for.